So UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Erceg just ended, and as we always do on this channel, let's break down the entire card. As we now do, let's go from the main event all the way down to the first card, or the first fight on the main event, because I only covered the main event. So, starting off with Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. I chose Steve Erceg to win this fight via a razor-thin decision. I was right about it being a close decision, even though they did. I think they did it. They did a 49-46 decision, which I don't agree with. I still think it was a close decision. It was a close fight still, going down to the final round. But still, I was wrong. Moreno got the win. Props to him. I, for one, don't want to see Moreno fight Pantoja for the 45th time, but that may end up being what we might have to watch, you know? Moreno looks good. You know, that's the honest truth about it. After he came back from his layaway, he looks like prime Moreno. Really fast hands. That overhand right is finding the mark on everybody. The way he's able to mix it up with the takedown just well. The way he's able to move his lead hand and confuse his opponent that way. He did a number on Erceg with that. You know, Erceg did well too. He just didn't do well enough to win. And I think what caused him to not do well enough to win is the fact that he didn't do anything besides jab. Erceg's jab was crisp, and it did land, and it did do a lot for him. What he needed was literally anything else other than the fucking jab. And Erceg decided not to include anything else, which is very frustrating to see. Yeah, it's just frustrating, man. I wanted to see a Steve Erceg win tonight. I don't know where he goes from here. Obviously, you know, I'm sure the UFC will keep him. If I was in the UFC, I'd keep him. You know, he's a great guy, great attitude, great personality, great boxing. I'd probably give him maybe 2 more fights before it's time to talk about him being cut, you know? But this is sad because he got so close, man. He flew real close to the sun. He almost beat a close fight with Pantoja. Not a close fight, but he got his shot against Pantoja at least. You know, was defeated there, moved on to fight Kai Kara, got absolutely clobbered by Kai Kara France, got this fight against Moreno, and now just lost a close fight against Moreno. I really think it was a close fight. If only Erceg did something besides the jab, I think he would have won this fight. I really do, you know. But props to Moreno. He's looking like prime Moreno, and he looks like he's headed back to another title shot. Do they book him against Manil Kape? I'm not sure. Maybe Moreno waits until a title shot after this fight, but maybe just to give Moreno something and not, you know, have him have to wait for like half a year or some shit. Just give Moreno a fight against Manil Kape, you know? But who really knows what is next for Moreno? But one thing is for certain, Moreno is really, really close to another title shot. Likely against Pantoja, which I don't want to see. Going further down the card, we got Manuel Torres against Drew Dober. Manuel Torres has proved once again that he is a lightweight fighter to really keep an eye on. He's aggressive, he's powerful, and he's rangy. A perfect combination for a very deadly fighter. And he proved that tonight. Absolutely just dropped Drew Dober in round 1, which was kind of thought to be impossible given how large Drew Dober's chin is. But still, it's possible. Torres dropped him and finished him on the ground. That's basically that. Not much to say about that fight. Drew Dober, I think the UFC should keep him. I don't think he should be cut because of this. Again, like just same thing with Steve Erceg. Like give him a couple more fights just to see how he's matching up with UFC caliber competition at this point in time. You know. So yeah, that's where I think Drew Dober goes from there. Another first round finish in the fight below that one. Edgar Chairez against CJ Vergara. I had money on CJ Vergara just because I wanted to go with an underdog. But Chairez proved that he is also a flyweight fighter to keep an eye on, and a rangy one at that. So it's interesting that he fights at flyweight. He is a dangerous guy. He's a dangerous guy. He makes things interesting. If he could get further up in the division, he truly makes things interesting for flyweight, you know, especially with up-and-coming killers like Kaya Sakura too, you know. I think that fight, Edgar Chairez versus Kaya Sakura, would be really, really fun to see. And it's interesting. I just want to see Edgar Chairez' height real quick because I'm interested in what... Oh, they don't even provide the dimensions anymore, huh? So I actually have to go to his page and see. I hate this when they don't give the right stuff here, because he has a lot of reach. He had a lot of reach in that fight against Vergara, man. Can't seem to get the stats on, but let's just go to the next fight. Further down the line, Raul Rosas against Vince Morales. Raul Rosas, UFC prospect, youngest fighter like ever, basically. A killer or two in his own right. Didn't look much like that, like a killer in this fight. Basically just a back taker and a guy that just kind of backpacks on guys, and that's about it. Raul Rosas' striking does not look good. Does not really look UFC caliber. His grappling is good. I think it's decent. I think it's slick. I think it's smart. And it can compete against top bantamweights. The striking will not. So Raul Rosas still has a lot to improve on, especially on the feet. And I hope he does it soon, especially with how he's being propelled further up in the division, So hopefully he's able to get his hands together. But still, he's able to beat Vince, even though Vince Morales also had 2 close submissions on Raul Rosas. So, Raul Rosas has a lot of work to do still. But he's young, so he's got time to do so. He's got time to work on stuff. Further down the card, David Martinez against Simon Oliveira. David Martinez, who is an orthopedic surgeon, by the way. I was really wowed by that. But Bilal Muhammad is a lawyer, too. So, you got high profession type people coming into the fight game and fighting there, too. So, it's all about the love of the fight game. But David Martinez fought Simon Oliveira tonight and absolutely clobbered Simon. Simon just seemed slow, indecisive at times. Martinez had a lot of great energy, great power, great movement as well. And he found his mark. And I think it was almost inevitable for him to find his mark at some point in this fight, given how energetic he was, how fast he was, and again, how powerful he was. So congrats to David Martinez. And I look forward to seeing what he can do at bantamweight. Interesting stuff being had here. Maybe we book Martinez against Raul Rosas. And last but not least, my favorite fight of the night, Ronaldo Rodriguez, a.k.a. Lazy Boy, fights Kevin Borjas. I am not a Lazy Boy fan at all. Something about him just gives me, like the same vibes as Paulo Costa and Marvin Vettori. Just some dumb guys that, don't know how to talk in a serious fashion, that can somewhat fight, but again, are still really just dumb. He fought Kevin Borjas, and Borjas just outstruck him throughout the entire fight. And that was really it. Borjas was landing every punch he fucking threw. He looked like Sean O'Malley in there. Really impressive performance for Borjas. Rodriguez gets his fight streak snapped in half. It is what it is. Overall, not a bad fight, not a bad card. In terms of ranking this card with other fight nights, I think it's like in the upper middle. There were a lot of finishes, especially in the main event, on the main card itself. And although the main event didn't really, go my way, but it was still fun, And I think the main event was still a great display of boxing, as I said it would be. High-level boxing, back and forth, stellar jabbing from both men. Although Erceg didn't do anything besides jab, the jab was really good. And Moreno's head movement mixed with his lead hand movement, mixed with the ability to find that overhand right with a lot of power as well. It's just pure, skillful, beautiful boxing. What more can I say? But overall, let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Most importantly, turn the notifications on so you're immediately notified about my next video. Stay in tune, stay caught in the loop, and stay up to date with my channel. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next.